Now, I don't know how many of you guys actually use Kiwifarms, but if you watch my videos, you probably know of it. Kiwifarms is a website that, as controversial as you may think it is, they don't break any laws. There's no reason for it to be down. Everything they do is well within the law. You know, some people will point out they're posting of personal information. I don't support that. I don't think that's cool, especially when it's someone like Dream or Corpse Husband who doesn't deserve to be doxxed because they're not a piece of shit. But by that same token, as far as I know anyway, I don't think doxing is illegal, so they're well within the right to do that. Since the Keffel stuff, Kiwifarms has been having issues with DDoS attacks and things like that. I tweeted out the other day saying Kiwifarms is down due to repeated DDoS attacks, and a website like Kiwifarms being unlawfully shut down through a DDoS attack, which in my opinion constitutes tortious interference of a business, and I think Null would agree with that. I would say that it's unjust, you know? There's nothing they do there that's illegal. They don't host child pornography. They don't host illegal materials. They only host content that's legal. If there's illegal content, they take it down. They haven't done anything bad, okay? They haven't done anything bad legally. Whatever you think of them, you know, whatever content may occur there. There may be things you disagree with that happen on Kiwifarms, but Kiwifarms itself is just a host of that content. And Kiwifarms, you know, unlike what some people do where they'll be like, oh, Kiwifarms said this. Like, Kiwifarms is not a person. A lot of people will be like, oh, 4chan did this. 4chan is not a person. They're not a collective body. Kiwifarms and 4chan are websites that a bunch of individuals use. Sometimes those individuals agree on things, sometimes they don't, but like Kiwifarms does not think anything. Individuals on Kiwifarms will think something. But here's what's happening with Kiwifarms. This is a message from Null that he posted that I read. This was the first message he sent. It was pretty interesting. I'm tired and feel a more complete explanation is owed. Hashtag drop Kiwifarms is effectively dead, but of the hundreds of Slacktivists who have come and gone in boredom, there's one persistent person who has made it his personal mission to obliterate his history of rape and professional misconduct from the Kiwifarms. He believes that his psychotic threats and abusive behavior will eventually allow him to leave behind his past and pursue a fruitful, happy, and productive life if only the Kiwifarms were gone. This persistent individual has crossed many lines many times, but all affected parties currently wish to sit on their hands with a wait-and-see approach while this person continues on in an incredibly abusive and threatening manner towards innocent third parties every day. It is with incredible reluctance that I do not name names. I personally know there is no wisdom in holding back. So for the sake of boosting confidence and making things clear, the individuals you're trying to pry into submission will not submit. I will not allow good people to deal with you without my assistance. When they realize you are an unreasonable person, they will stop trying to be nice. There are 1 million visitors to my website every month, and they will all know you soon. As long as I am alive, I will not permit some freak to decide what I can and cannot say, and what the thousands of people who use my website can and cannot say. These small reprieves from your laundry being available online will not last. You should accept that and move on with what remains of your short and mangled life. I also promise that if something were to happen, and by some inconceivable force, the Kiwifarms could not continue, that you personally will never live down what you have done, and you will never see a day where you are not known as a the people you are threatening are not disappearing silently. There is a fortress being built one brick at a time with your help. The entire industry is learning who you are by your actions alone, and they will know what you are. A predator. Fuck off. So Null is claiming that a rapist, I don't know if this person is anything close to that, but he's claiming that a rapist is trying to shut down Kiwifarms to hide the evidence of what they've done. And that they were a part of the drop Kiwifarms saying there's some kind of slacktivist is what is the term he uses, which is basically just a term to be like someone who is a fake activist and is not genuinely, you know, interested in doing anything good for any community or any side politically, right? Someone who is a slacktivist is taking down his website, a website that has 1 million visitors a month. And obviously those 1 million visitors are very passionate about the site. They're very passionate about its existence. He's claiming that, and he's claiming that this person's taking it down because they want to hide evidence of what they've done. So let's talk about that. Kiwifarms is under attack, but the consequences don't merely apply to Kiwifarms. It applies to all of us in this climate. Anyone falsely be accused of some sort of phobia, bigotry, or social crime without evidence and be destroyed and shut down. Hashtag Kiwifarms. And here we have this other post from Null. This is a newer post. Freedom of speech on the internet in the United States will be permanently broken unless all tech creates a stronghold together. The underlying infrastructure that makes up the internet has been mapped out and attacked. A single dedicated person can deny thousands of people a platform online. No person or company is safe from this attack vector, and it works anywhere in the world. The Kiwifarms, a U.S. legal web service with its own hardware and internet resources, is having trouble staying online because of persistent line-crossing harassment perpetrated by Liz Fong Jones with bankrolling and support from Honeycomb, a San Francisco tech company he works as a C-level executive. Now, in fairness, I believe Liz Fong Jones is trans, so when I refer to Liz, I'm going to respect her pronouns, not only because, you know, I believe in respecting those pronouns, but also because YouTube greatly encourages me to respect those pronouns, and I like YouTube. So, from that perspective, I think it's important to respect YouTube's wishes. That being said, when I read this material, I'm just going to read what Null says. So, Null is alleging that this person, Liz Fong Jones, is destroying the internet, and that she is basically working with a San Francisco tech company called Honeycomb, which I assume is this honeycomb.io. Honeycomb scores $50 million investment as observability platform thrives. And he's claiming that this person is using their tools to DDoS the farms. The Kiwifarms and my person have never been accused of any crime by any level of U.S. law enforcement. We've never lost a lawsuit. We operate transparently within the boundaries of the First Amendment and U.S. law, which is true. Once again, whatever you think of Kiwifarms, you can't say they're doing anything illegal. They're not. When there was illegal content that was posted, they did their best to take it down. which I believe that Null is acting in good faith when he says that. We operate transparently within the boundaries of the First Amendment in U.S. law. Despite this, Liz has taken it upon himself, under the banner of his company, to do the following: directly contact ISPs to lie about the Kiwifarms, alleging criminal behavior and insinuating threats unless we already platformed. If those ISPs do not relent, the family of data center employees become targets. I was informed a wife of an ISP C-level executive was contacted directly by Liz Fong Jones at early morning hours for what he called a girl talk. If the ISPs still don't relent, he then goes after the data center directly and insists the defamatory claims that we are a criminal enterprise, again insinuating threats. If those data centers do not relent, their families also become targets. I'm aware of an engineer's wife who lost her job in a completely different industry because of harassment directed towards her employer. If there's no women to attack, he then goes after the other clients of the data center, involving them so that they start complaining and threatening to move as to hurt the business. To the best of my knowledge, this comes almost entirely from Liz Fong Jones through paper mail, telephone calls, and his honeycomb.io email, but it's very hard to get direct confirmation. These scare tactics work such that once people cut us off, I'm rarely given an explanation. What I am told is done anonymously through underlings in the company. Liz Fong Jones and his company have done a very good job of intimidating people into submission and keeping them quiet. This effort is to hide a rape accusation. We have archived Liz Fong Jones' direct admission that a person in Zurich accused him of some form of sexual assault. His strategy was to minimize the sexual assault claim as a mere consent accident and downplay it as a bizarre misunderstanding over dog hair. It is not possible to know the specifics of the original claim because all evidence, except Liz Fong Jones' tweets admitting it happened, have been removed from the internet. This crusade started in 2018 when Liz Fong Jones, then an employee of Google, used this corporate at lizf@google.com email address to intimidate my email provider. This was to protect Trans Lifeline from evidence we hosted, showing that their company was embezzling money. This claim was true, and the directors were ousted for injuring more than $300,000 of charity funds for personal expenses, a value which has been filed with the IRS under penalty of perjury, confirming what the Kiwifarms had documented for months and which Liz Fong Jones attempted to cover up. When ISPs want to help us, data centers can censor them. When data centers want to help us, internet backbones, Zayo, Cogent, GTT, NTT can censor them. When we have an ISP, data center, and contractors with backbones to stay online, the organized abuse towards other customers can still force them to censor us. So basically what Null's saying here is that this person is, harassing any business that associates with the Kiwifarms despite not doing anything illegal. There are two possible solutions to this. One, legal protections forcing carriers to be content neutral so that when threatened, they can claim I legally cannot deplatform this service, and or two, a content neutral carrier platform in the US supported by a collection of alt tech companies where such threats do not work. There are various data centers in the US with dignity, but they have little choice when their careers, companies, and families are under attack by dangerous perverts. And this is the case. You can complain about cancel culture all you want, the people who want to support Kiwifarms, but at the end of the day, when people are trying to hurt their business, when people are harassing them, when people are losing their jobs, they're going to think of themselves and their families first. And so you can't really blame these people for, when they get contacted by someone who, in this case, according to Null anyway, is Liz Fong Jones, for having to cower to this kind of situation. Because what do? When someone's threatening your livelihood, when someone's threatening the livelihood of your family that, your kids depend on, it's a tough situation to be in, It really is. It really is a tough situation. Kiwifarms are still men. Nobody wants to associate with them. I mean, whether or not you want to associate with them, if you want to take a principled position on anything, this has to be it, right? The right for websites that are not breaking the law to exist. If Kiwifarms, if someone proved to me that Kiwifarms was consistently breaking some kind of law, I can't say anything to that. If they are, then they should be taken down. But if not, then I don't give a shit. They should stay up. There's nothing preventing an attack on less offensive services. Given enough time and opportunity, it will happen to you. So he's basically saying this could happen to any other website on the internet. This could happen to any other website, any other person who's hosting content that is legal. If Liz Fong Jones or someone else wants to DDoS attack your website, if she wants to, at least according to Null, contact people who work with you, it could be very bad for you. And even beyond that, let's say this person has journalism contacts and can fuck with you. That's a terrible situation to be in. And so I think from that perspective, people need to side with Null on this. I hope he figures it out. I don't know what there is to be done about this right now other than talk about it on my stream. But as more developments come, I'll try to cover them on my stream as well. It's still a toxic site. I mean, I just don't care if it's a toxic site. Toxic site or not, I think it's within its right to exist. That's my take on that. Now we also have this archive. This is an archive of the Liz Fong Jones thread, I believe. Liz Fong Jones, Elliot William Fong, consent accident enjoyer, ex-Google employee, nepotistic sex pest, Robert Czar lookalike who wants authority over the internet. So we're going to read about this consent accident because I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious about this. Here we have a tweet saying, consent accidents do occasionally happen. It's part of the risk-aware consensual kink. And I think that when they do, we need to be able to understand what happened rather than lashing out or blanket just denying that anything happened, both of which suck. What currently has drawn the most ire towards Liz, however, is her defense of a self-admitted rape. As it will be revealed later, Elliot has a tenuous relationship with sexual assault, and this fact is most prominently demonstrated by an instance where Elliot, by his own admission, raped an acquaintance, brushing it off as a consent accident. When she realized realized nobody was falling for this excuse, she promptly deleted their post admitting this. While explaining this consent accident, she not so subtly elaborates on how she doesn't really feel a fault with traumatizing a person to the point of them being suicidal. Here, Liz says, and conversely, I've known them for 8+ years. She has intense phobia of encountering live dogs in person. What I did not know, and what she did not communicate, is that her phobia also extends to her encountering dog hair on clothing. Even stranger, she tried to backpedal her claim by claiming the consent accident was due to dog hair and the victim's phobia of canines, despite the victim's encounter with Elliot leaving them with crippling PTSD. She immediately admits to using this to downplay the victim's reaction as a mere allegation and nothing more. And here we have a screenshot. Maybe it won't work. It's not going to, but it says, lol, they're blocking anyone that calls the rapist Liz on her actions. And here they show that Honeycomb.ai blocked this person. As of today, her company will block any individual questioning an employee being an admitted rapist who blamed the victim at first opportunity and deleted the evidence once nobody bought her hand waving. So there's a consent accident situation. If you guys wanted to know what happened, blaming it on dog hair. I think the allegation or the claim that Liz made was basically that the person's problem was that there was dog hair on her clothing or in her apartment at the time of this consent accident. And that's what the rape constituted, the consent accident, right? So that's the situation with the consent accident. I'm curious to see where this goes with Null. I hope to get more updates soon. I'd like to see some more proof of this. I don't think Null has a reason to lie about it, but I would like to see some more proof that Liz Fong Jones is the one DDoSing. And not only that, but also that Liz Fong Jones is the one that's going around to these companies. I wouldn't necessarily doubt it, but I would like to know. I would like to know.